something.
I think that's a nice
little pig there. Come on in, baby. Got him there?
net, boys.
Can you grab it?
Oh, I got it.
Okay. Now right now, like I said, this is the blue we got here, but they are flatheads on this lake, channel cats.
Look at the mud on him.
He'd marred up in it, wouldn't he? Folks at home, welcome to another episode of Carolina Outdoors. I'm your host, Silent Summer. We're fishing with David Kingsmore here today, and David's already put us on a big pig of a catfish. This catfish only has one eye, and we're planning on getting some more fish like this in the boat today. So y'all stay tuned for more Carolina Outdoors.
The Kubota dealers of the Carolinas are proud to present Carolina Outdoors, showcasing our passion for the outdoors, for Earth, for life.
Lady, get. I was able to get it done. It's a big wide 8-point. Come on. 2 birds, 1 shot.
Carolina Outdoors with Alex Summer is next.
Oh, he's bigger than we thought.
Yeah.
Wow.
33.
33 full.
33 full. Heck of a catfish. All right, guys, today we're out here on Lake Murray fishing with our good buddy David Kingsmore. David likes to run these planer boards when we're catfishing. David, would you tell us a little bit, what's the whole concept of getting these planer boards where they're out beside the boat like that?
All right. The planer board, it gets your bait out away from the boat noise and all that. Your ping and your graph and things like that, your trolling motor noise. See, we got a trolling motor set up on about 0.5, and we're going to pull these boards and we're going to try to spread them out as far as we can, but we don't want to get overloaded with too many rods. So today we're going to fish 8 rods instead of 10.
Now let me ask you something else about it. Have you seen these planer boards? Do they work better getting them out beside the boat, say when you're in shallower water too? That kind of affects the fish when you're rolling over top of them?
Yeah, shallow water, it's a great tool in shallow water. What it does, it like I said earlier, it gets your bait out away from the boat and gets that boat noise out of the equation when you're fishing. So,
and also you're covering so much ground. I mean,
yeah.
What you say? I mean, you're covering 300 yards from the center of the boat, 150 that way, and maybe 150 that way almost, ain't it?
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's getting them out there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're gonna get another piece of bait on. Let's get another one. What kind of planer boards are you using here?
We got Bone Town fishing planer boards, and if you look at my rig here, let's go here. We got a Bone Town dragon weight, which that is a dragon weight, you know, and we got it rigged on basically a Santee rig. This is a Demon Dragon that
What's that circle hook you using there?
That's a 10-aught.
10-aught circle
And
hook.
I got a little stinger hook on the back of it, which is a 7-aught. And this is a Demon Dragon that Bloodline Tackle makes, Jerry Drawdy.
Okay.
And
this is basically this is what they call basically a Santee catfish, or Santee Cooper drifting rig, right?
Santee rig, yeah.
Okay.
Santee dragon rig or drifting rig, and we just turn them into dragon rigs.
That's right.
You know, we changed up the thing a little bit and put the trolling motor in the equation.
All right.
Those guys use the wind a lot, you know.
Yeah.
So we're gonna put the trolling motor in the equation today, and we're gonna spread these boards, and hopefully we can catch a big one.
Sounds good to me, buddy. Let's get it in the water and go ahead and try to get another big one, big blue in the boat right here, right?
I hope so.
All right, guys, now we're going to talk about the planer board itself. We got our bait out here in the water. You usually pull off a little bit of line, then you drop your planer board on there, right?
Yeah, well, you got a left and you got a right planer
Okay.
board. All right, what I like to do, I like to vary my lengths of line out from my board. All right, this is your left side board, which will be your right side facing the front of the boat.
Right.
But what you do is you hook your line coming straight from your rod to your clip. All right, then you got this open swivel here that you hook your line going toward your bait to.
Right.
It's very simple. The biggest concept with the planer boards is making sure you put everything out, you don't crowd them on top of each other, give you some space in between the boards. You know, because with these catfish, they're going to hit very hard. So
Right.
You want a good bit of space in your board to try to, keep down tangles.
Yeah, I know you kind of just eyeball, but I know some people use line counters too. I mean, that's helpful too, ain't it?
Yep, I got some good friends of mine, Brad McCall, Mike Durham. They use line counters, and
They like knowing.
Yep, and they like knowing exactly where they're at. You know, I kind of stagger my lines out of each board, make one longer, one shorter.
And I noticed you started on the outside rod holders there.
Yes, what I do is I put them on the outside first when I put everything in the water. All right. Say if we're gonna pick up and move, and we got 3 boards out here, and then two lines straight out the back, what we'll do is we'll start on the inside and reel our inside lines up, and we'll work our way inside out to pull our boards back in. So we'll slide this one in, and we'll put it out there next to that outside board.
All right.
And I'll kind of show you how I do the spacing. I like to, a lot of times you can get them set, stick your rod in the holder, and then you can switch over here to this side. You can grab this next outside one on this other side, and you can be getting it ready while that one's going out.
Right.
And I mean, you can fish different types of cuts and stuff like that. See, we're fishing a sandwich here.
Right. I noticed you called that a fish sandwich. I called them suicides.
Yeah, suicide fish sandwich. But I mean, that's
everybody's got a name for it.
That's my cut of choice. I mean, it really is. I mean, but I have some body chunks cut here and stuff like that. We're gonna try a couple of different things, but that's definitely my cut of choice.
Well, I noticed when you cut them like that, that fish seems to just want to stay alive too. Kind of gives it that.
Yeah, he'll stay alive a little bit and he'll bleed, and I mean, it works out pretty good. So
go ahead.
Go with this one.
One more thing, when you got these planer boards out and these fish hit, it ain't like a bobber, but you will see with a good fish on there, he'll drag it across the water.
Yeah, good fish, he's going to either sink the planer board or he's going to drag it, you know, pretty fast. Smaller fish, you can tell he'll peck it and bounce it and move it.
And I've seen another thing too when I was using these planer boards. They seem to help you from getting hung up as much to me.
Yeah, I think the planer boards, say like if you're fishing at Santee or something like that.
Right.
I think the planer board puts some action in that bait, makes the bait, that planer board will be bouncing on those waves, and I think what it does,
gives it a little more.
It's jerking that rig and making that bait move.
Get more of a reaction bite out of them.
Get more reaction bite. I think it's making those rattle a little bit as well. So, all right.
We'll take every advantage we can get there.
All right, we got these two. These two are out here, and I've got both of them locked. And as you can see, I'm real close on both of them. So I'm gonna take this inside one, and I'm gonna bring it into about right there, and that's gonna give us about 10, maybe 12 foot in between the boards.
Right.
And see, once it gets to rolling there, it's gonna be going. It's gonna set up pretty.
Yeah. Well, we got David here on a good one. We just had him get a hook in this thing. He come out of the water. I'm gonna step up here and go and get this net ready. Now, David, we've been pulling here for a good little while. What exactly you look for when you looking to drag on these fish?
Well, I like to mark fish, Alex, but you know, today I think they buried in the mud. Come on, stay down, stay down. All right, I'm gonna get you to pop this board too, Alex, before you net this thing.
Let me do this one right here.
We're kind of following these spawning fish is what we're doing today. We're trying to fish the edge of the river channel on these flats.
Come on. There you go. All right. I gotta get this. Okay, just let it slide.
We're pulling planer boards, and the reason we're pulling these planer boards where we can get a good spread on everything.
And like you said, I know we're
a lot of ground.
Covering a ton of ground. He wants to stay down right here when he gets to the boat, don't he?
Go ahead and tell you boys, this is a good one.
I know, I seen him come back here. What's the depth we was fishing in right now? About 25 feet, wasn't it?
Well, we started 25 feet, we're in about 12 feet now.
Right.
Like I said, these fish are working these flats.
And basically what they're doing, like you said, they just feeding up. That's a good little pig. Good little pig. Come on in here, baby. He got the other thing with him. That's all right. There we go. Look what a fat little toad.
Oh my Lord.
Look like a bit like little submarines, ain't they? Oh yeah.
That didn't happen right.
Huh?
It happened on my side. I had to
No, but hey, you didn't see me jump across. I said grab him, cuz, grab him.
I hate to jump the gun on you.
He come straight to the top of the water with it when he got it too, didn't he?
Yeah.
Man, what a fish.
The first rig I showed you earlier was a demon dragon.
Right.
This is one of my rigs that I make myself. And what I do, I paint the corks, add the little rattles to them.
Okay.
You know, 12-aught, and the Bone Town Dragon weight.
Now there's a reason we like to use these bigger hooks for these bigger catfish. The circle hooks like to get them in the corner of the mouth where they don't swallow the hook.
Or that bigger hook will get him.
It gets him behind that hard palate. Or that
behind that hard pallet, and you'll notice it's probably going to be a wrestling match here, so y'all be ready.
Yeah.
But if you look here, look at that pad.
Yep.
That's a good 3/4 of an inch thick.
And you got to have that circle hook get past that to be able to.
Yes.
Where he can't roll off that hook.
Yes. See here, he's not as muddy as that first fish we caught, so that fish was up cruising a little bit.
Oh yes, 54, 55?
54.
We'll say 55, sounds better than me.
Ooh.
They can deceive you when they, especially one like that that's so dang healthy. Look like a submarine, little small head and a gut on it is like a dang. Look at that thing.
Look at that.
That's beautiful, ain't it?
Oh boy.
All right, folks, we had a little break right now. It's warmed up a little bit today. We started off this morning, Dave. It's probably, what, 40 degrees?
40, 45, yeah.
And it's to move in the mid-50s now. It's supposed to be 65 as the day goes on. I know we had this front come through here last night. Have you noticed that a front will make much of a difference as far as when it comes to catching fish?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, for example, you take this morning, we had a bunch of bites this morning. We caught 2 good fish, and we had 1 other good fish on.
Right.
You know, and as the day progressed, I think the front kind of moved in on top of us, and the pressure's built up, and the high pressure's done locked in on us. I mean, you look at the sky, and I mean, it's clear. It's not a cloud in the sky. So I think the reason for our bite slowing down now is the high pressures done got on these fish's heads.
I know, like I said, we had, I mean, it wasn't just a bite. This morning we had a lot of bites, you know, as far as smaller fish and stuff like that. If we could have downsized the hooks, could have picked up some channels or something, but the big fish bite we was looking for anyway.
Yeah.
And you've seen that absolutely turns the fish, and we ain't even having the smaller bites like we was having.
No, we're not even getting no pecks and nibbles like we were earlier. Right. I mean, and we're just going to have to sit here and drag it on their head until one of them decides he's going to.
And eventually it does turn back on. You've seen it go either way. You know?
Yeah, it's going to go either way. I mean, the fish.
That's why it's fishing.
Yeah, they're going to eat one more time today. But,
that's right.
You know, when, we don't know. We just We just got to stay on them and hopefully get the other big bite we need.
Well, that's another thing too with dragons. Sometimes you do pull a reactionary bite out of them, even when they might not necessarily be hungry.
Yes, that's one plus to dragging baits is, you know, you drag it by a fish just laid there locked up on a high pressure, or a fish that's dormant right now. You know, if he sees something come by, you know, it's his natural reaction. He's going to grab it or grab at it. So, but you know, that's the high pressure for you. I mean, usually once it comes in and settles on in, the fish kind of get a little sketchy, and it'll be like that for a day or so, and then, you know, as long as we don't get no more dramatic weather fronts come through, the fish they'll eventually climb back up.
They can pick back up like the bite you were saying you were seeing earlier this week and so on and so forth.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. But you know, this time of the year you're gonna play front, so
that's right.
But I like to be on right before a front or right after a front, and then once the front goes through, the high pressure sets in, and it gets tough on you. It gets tough.
That's fishing, Bo. That's why it's fishing, not catching, right?
Yep, you gotta be patient. Just wait on him.
All right. Well, let's keep pulling on drag. We'll get one in the boat, man.
We're gonna keep pulling it over the top of the head. Hopefully, one will get hungry shortly.
We'll be right back with more Carolina Outdoors. Got on another one here, David. Is that one gonna get any drag out of the holder there?
Yes, that's a good one.
It looks to be a good one, Bo. Let me get this net right here. Get her going. Where's it at? Oh, there it is. Now it seems like we've been doing this drift for a minute here. We had a lull there in the middle, but now we got the middle of the day. Now we got our second one in what, 30 minutes?
At least 30 minutes, yeah. It hasn't been that long.
And it's still a good quality bite.
Yeah, good quality bite.
Now we're using our bait today. We're using gizzard shad. I seen you got some bigger ones and some smaller ones. Is there a particular size you like? I know you did that cut. What'd you call it? A fish sandwich?
I call it a fish sandwich. Yeah, where I fillet him up each side and cut his spine out of him.
Right.
This time of year I like to use shad, but you know, other times of year I'm using perch, brim, you know, whatever seems to be the best to bite. I like to use a little bit bigger shad this time of year.
Well, you see how fat these
you fish are gorging, and you see how hard they're hitting.
You see how fat they are sitting there on the bottom like that. That's what you was talking about with them gorging, the way they got that stomach to them. You can tell they've been just sitting here feeding.
Big fish are going up spawn, so they're hungry. Watch the rod over there out.
I see that. I'll try to hold his net when I'm doing that. Show some color. There's some color to him. There's some color to him. Come on in here. Come on. I know it. Got some net to him now.
Help.
I think I got it. I just want to make sure I don't get a good hold on this net here, that's all.
What's up with the right and the left side?
I know, it's just the right and the left, I mean. Well, I noticed you was talking earlier, when you're doing this, you said when you get that drift rod out on each end, that tends to be where the bigger fish like to hit. And I know we caught one in the middle too, but a lot of our bites is being out there.
Yeah, this is our third fish off of the outside boards.
Right.
We caught one fish off a center rod with no board.
Yep.
And I haven't figured out the rhyme or reason for that, other than I think it's got to do with boat noise. You know, the pinging off that graph, off that sonar.
And I know we're also throwing a shadow down into the water here with the boat.
Shadow. We're making a lot of noise. We're dragging two socks. We got the trolling motor drifting against this current. It's probably, oh, that joker's rolling on 5 right now, so. You know,
Yeah.
It's making a lot of noise, so.
Fighting the current and the wind.
Yep.
All right, we got him in the sling here. We gonna take a guess at what he's gonna weigh? You take a shot in the dark at it? One more to look at it?
I'm gonna say 61.
I'm gonna go the same thing I said last time. Another, I'm gonna say 65.
You gonna say 65?
I'm gonna say 65. Yeah.
All right, you might have to be the one to pick him up.
You want me to do it?
Oh no.
57.
Yep.
57 pounds. Got hooked up on another one here, David. What size line we using on this thing?
We're using Andy Monster 30 pounds.
Is that a particular? That's what you always stick with when you're dragging, no matter what.
That's what I stick with across the board, Alex. It, like I said, it'll stop this boat if you get hooked up on something.
Right. I mean, you seen him about turn the boat in the way he had the holder.
Yep.
Snatching a little drag out of the holder. Now this one here we own is a 10-foot rod. Yep. Now I seen you got some other rods there.
I fished the Slime Cat line of rods. What I'm holding here is the 7'6" in the orange.
Right.
And then you got the 10-foot.
Here's a 10-footer.
And I use the 10-footer, like I said. I put my outside board on it when it's a pretty day like this. And I'm sure that big fish come off a big fat gizzard shaft in Midlands Outdoors too.
That's where you buy all your bait. I know I deal a lot with him too. We do the catfish and he hooks us up every time.
Kevin Morris he's the preferred bait man around this area, that's for sure. And he always hooks us up with some good bait.
I'm gonna throw down here in a second.
10-footer feel?
Yeah, I'm telling you, bud. I like you can get some leverage on him with that 10-foot for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, good fish. Oh.
Yeah, come on, come on, come on, come on. We'll stay up there.
Yeah, I did.
There you go. I'm gonna get over a little bit on him here.
Do his thing.
Yep. Right into the net.
Look at that mud on his belly.
Marred up, just lethargic fish, ain't they?
What do we say that high pressure did to them?
Makes them sit down.
Look at that.
When they got mud on their belly like that. But Randy, he is like a rock star on it. He's a nice one. What you think? What you reckon this is gonna go?
I'm gonna say it's gonna be like our first one. I'm gonna say it's gonna be mid-30s.
That's what I think too. I'm gonna say somewhere in that 30.
He's pretty fat.
What you got on that one?
Remember, you caught twins today.
Did I?
It's gonna be 34 pounds, just about.
There we go. That'd been a nice one.
That's what I like to see right there, big pretty fish.
See that mud still on his side? I mean, he just marred up in that mud.
Laid up in the mud for sure.
Well guys, we're gonna go and get this fish back in the water, but that's all the time we have for today's show. So until next time, get out and enjoy your Carolina Outdoors.
Thanks for watching Carolina Outdoors, online 24/7 at scoutdoors.com. See you next week on Carolina Outdoors.